Imagine a world where every choice you make today determines your tomorrow. Think about a simple object, like a mobile phone. If you enter the wrong password, no matter how hard you try, it won't unlock. It's a reminder that even the simplest things in life require the right actions to unlock their potential. So how can we expect to unlock the gates of heaven or the doors to our true happiness with the wrong actions? So, hello and welcome to Way to Enlightenment. Today, I'll share a story that reveals the profound impact of our choices. It's about a wise king, 3 ministers, and a test that reveals the true nature of karma. This story is not just about them, it's about us, about the choices we make every day, and how those choices shape our destiny. So, let's dive into this powerful tale together. Once upon a time, in a prosperous kingdom, there lived a king who was loved by all his subjects. This king was not just any ordinary ruler. He was kind, brave, and wise. His once flourishing realm began to decay from within. Corruption spread like wildfire, and even those he trusted most, his ministers, seemed to be losing their way. The king, deeply troubled by the moral decline, knew that something had to be done, but instead of punishing those who had strayed, he devised a plan to test their true character. Determined to find out who among them still held the values of honesty and integrity, the king devised a unique test. He announced that 3 ministers would be randomly chosen to undertake a special task, one that would seem simple on the surface, but was designed to uncover their true character. On the appointed day, the king summoned the 3 ministers and handed each a large empty bag. Their mission was to enter the royal garden and fill the bag with the best fruits they could find within 1 hour. The task seemed straightforward, but the king's true intention was to see beyond their actions. He wanted to understand the essence of their hearts. The first minister, a man known for his honesty and integrity, entered the garden with a sense of purpose. He carefully examined each fruit, selecting only the ripest, juiciest ones. He knew that the quality of his choices would reflect his character, so he didn't rush. Though his bag wasn't completely full by the end of the hour, he was confident that every fruit he had chosen was worthy. The second minister, less diligent and more concerned with appearances, took a different approach. He quickly gathered some good fruits, but also added rotten ones, thinking he could hide the bad beneath the good. He believed that the king wouldn't notice the difference and that he could easily deceive him with a bag that appeared full. The third minister, driven by laziness and arrogance, decided to take the easiest route. Instead of fruits, he filled his bag with grass, straw, and leaves, reasoning that the king wouldn't care as long as the bag looked full. He was certain that his cunning would go unnoticed and that he would emerge victorious with minimal effort. When the ministers returned to the court, each one presented their bag to the king. The first minister stood tall, confident in the quality of his selection. The second minister, with a sly smile, handed over his bag, believing he had successfully hidden his deceit. The third minister, with a smug expression, proudly displayed his bag, thinking he had outsmarted everyone. But the king, with wisdom beyond their understanding, had anticipated their actions. He ordered that each minister be locked in a room for 3 months, with nothing but the contents of their bags to sustain them. The first minister, who had carefully chosen the best fruits, found himself well-nourished and at peace. He had enough to survive, and each day he thanked his past self for making wise choices. The second minister soon faced the consequences of his mixed bag. The rotten fruits began to spoil the good ones, leaving him with barely anything edible. As the days passed, he regretted his deceit, realizing that trying to trick the king had only led to his own suffering. The third minister, who had filled his bag with worthless grass and leaves, found himself in a dire situation. With nothing of value to sustain him, he grew weaker by the day. His arrogance turned to despair as he understood too late that his laziness and deceit had led him to a bitter end. After 3 long months, the king released the ministers. The first minister emerged strong and healthy, ready to continue serving his kingdom with honor. The second minister, though weakened, had learned a painful but valuable lesson about honesty. And the third minister, however, was a broken man, his arrogance shattered by the harsh reality of his choices. The king then gathered his people and shared the profound lesson. He said, "We are all given a bag of this life, and it's up to us to fill it with good deeds or bad. When we stand before the Almighty, our bags will be opened and the contents will determine our fate. Those who have filled their lives with good will be sustained, but those who have chosen deceit, laziness, and worthless pursuits will find themselves empty-handed." This story is not just about a king and his ministers, it's about each one of us. Every day, life gives us opportunities to make choices. What we fill our bags with is up to us. Are we like the first minister, carefully choosing our actions, even if it means a slower, more deliberate path? Or are we like the second minister, trying to mix good with bad, hoping no one notices? Or perhaps, like the third minister, we fill our lives with things that seem easy, but hold no real value. Remember, karma is not just a concept, it's a reality. Every action we take, every choice we make, adds to the contents of our bag. One day, that bag will be opened and we will have to face the consequences. So ask yourself, what are you filling your bag with? Will your actions bring you closer to peace and fulfillment? Or will they leave you empty and regretful? Your actions today are the seeds of your future, so choose wisely. The choices we make today will shape our tomorrow. If this story has touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more stories that inspire and enlighten. Let's fill our lives with good deeds, positive actions, and meaningful choices. Together, we can create a world where karma greets us as a friend, not a foe. May your journey be filled with the right choices that lead to true happiness and fulfillment. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.